Welcome and thank you for joining Andre Renee's Creative Cafe. This show focuses on the arts and the artist's God-given talent. We strongly believe that you are your passion. And we have a wonderful guest today. Her name is Marcya.
You got it.
I got it. All right. She's a wonderful singer. She has a strong, diverse background. And people, please go to my website, my Andre Renee's Creative Cafe page, and read her extensive bio. There's no way we could cover everything, right?
I don't think so.
Listen, we have a true professional here. She's in the business. As you know, Andre Renee's, we focus it on the art. So we have artists that comes through the door who's currently working in their passion. So you guys can take the leap and want to work in your passion. So we're proud of her. I read her bio. I had to sit down. I was like, wow, she's the real thing. And so we want to start where you were born.
Yeah.
So you guys make my favorite cars over there.
What car is that?
You was born in Germany.
I was born in Germany, so what, a Mercedes?
I'm a Mercedes. Yeah.
Okay, do you have one?
I have two.
Oh, excuse me.
It's okay.
I don't have one.
It's all right. Tomorrow. We'll get you one tomorrow.
You'll get me one tomorrow? Okay.
I'll ship it in the mail.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a matchbox at the bottom, but it is because the way they pay me, the way my bank account's set up, see.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Okay, gotcha.
So who's in the military? Was that a military thing?
Yes, it was a military thing. My father was in the military, and he was stationed in Germany, and that's how I happened to be born there. I was born in Stuttgart.
Yeah, what she said. Stuttgart. So in Germany, I was at the Mercedes dealership for my cargo van as well. And so it needed its first 1 year service. And so the guys from Germany was there. So I had the opportunity to say, hey guys, was ist los? That's what's happening. They was like, look, there was like, nichts was los. Then he said something else, and I was like, yeah, that's all.
That was all he had. You should have yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, no.
For yes?
I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
I was in Army.
Next time, then now you have another word to add to your German vocabulary.
Indeed. And the next, right. So I take it you're a little fluent in the language?
I am absolutely not fluent in German.
How long were you there?
Probably just under a year. Oh. I'm going to say maybe like 9 months or something, and then we came back to the States.
Oh, okay. So you came into this world and went to the South Side, not even knowing you was over there for quite some time.
Right.
South side of Chicago.
South suburbs.
What suburbs?
Park Forest, Illinois is where I spent most of my life. I guess my initial years were like in Harvey.
Okay.
Harvey, Illinois.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Being that you're 25, so that was just some time ago.
Yes, only just a few years ago.
Right.
Just a mere, like, maybe 5 years ago.
Indeed.
And everybody who knows me that might be listening is like,
oh, they're all listening.
But they could only be 25 too, right?
I'm at 25.
I didn't think you were a day over 24 and a half.
There you go.
See?
September the 2nd, we will have our show. Then we'll have a really lovely birthday celebration.
For you?
For me, my business, and the radio show.
Oh, nice.
Right.
So you started the radio show on your birthday?
No, but we're just going to do it all together.
Okay. My birthday's October 3rd.
October 3rd. I make sure I have you another bands in the mail.
Oh, yes. Then I'll have two.
Indeed.
Okay.
You can set them right there on your coffee table.
Indeed.
There you go. Professional singer at 15 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's interesting.
That's very interesting. Tell us how that came to pass.
Well, I've been studying music for many years. I guess by that point, I think I started taking piano lessons when I was like 6.5, almost 7. My choir teacher in high school thought that I had some talent, and my first gigs were actually as a singer at his church. He started hiring me to do weddings. And then, so that was when I was 15. And then I just continued to do more of that kind of work as I got older. By the time I was in college, I was doing a lot of events and things like that. I had my first contract with a professional opera company at 19.
Opera?
Yes, don't ask me to sing.
Oh, we have one. We have one. She killed it.
You know what? I watched that show. Yeah, she did a nice job.
Yeah, she did.
Very good job.
And so you mean to tell me you don't want to touch none of that?
Nope, not at this moment. I also have very bad allergies, and unfortunately, they have my throat kind of
Yeah, I'm with you. I was sneezing my way through the door.
And then I was outside all yesterday afternoon for a festival.
Right, and so was I. Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
What festival were you at?
We were at the Community Fest. One of our radio show partners, Lady Red, was there.
Okay.
I was there selling my books. She was the hostess.
Nice.
She killed it. I killed it with the books. Then we promoted one another. Wonderful. The Community Fest in University Park was wonderful.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And I was at the Black Arts Festival in Milwaukee.
Ah, yeah. I was invited to the fest, a few of the fest, the arts and the Jamaican fest. But the radio show, it's so new. I don't want to not be here.
Of course.
I love it to death. But we'll figure something out next year. And so we can't get you to say maybe I Need Thee or Amazing Grace or anything.
Amazing. You want me to sing a church song?
Yeah, sing us to commercial.
Okay. Lord, dear Lord above, God Almighty, God of love, please look down and let your people go. I believe that God put sun and moon up in the sky. I don't mind the gray clouds, 'cause they're just clouds passing by. Lord, dear Lord above, God Almighty, God of love, please look down and see my people through.
Amen. That's beautiful. And on that note, we will return after these commercials break, brought to you by St. Augustine Church of Gary, Indiana. Hey guys, and we're back with Marcya, a wonderful singer. You just heard what she can do. We love her to death for that. And so we want to talk about your BA, your degree from Chicago College of Performance Arts.
Yes.
And originally it was a different name.
It was originally the Chicago Musical College, so from that you probably now know that I'm not exactly 25, but I'm still close. So technically, yes, Chicago Musical College at Roosevelt University.
Okay.
I was kind of a double major or major minor in philosophy and voice performance.
Opposite spectrums.
Opposite spectrums in one way, similar spectrums in terms of high income jobs.
Oh, I know that's right. So in other words,
at least with just a bachelor's degree.
Right. In other words, I'm going to make sure I make some money no matter which direction I'm going. Am I reading that right?
Well, no, it's kind of like a bachelor's degree in philosophy is very similar to having just kind of like a liberal arts background. And then with the music background, while a very pleasant life for sure.
Indeed.
It's just not chock full of money at that level. So and especially, not as a young person, like when you're in your earlier 20s, earlier than 25 like I am now.
Indeed. So at 15, someone obviously taught you to make sure you have something to fall back on, because the music industry is jam-packed with people, I'm sure.
Yeah.
When I took the leap of faith, and let's be clear here, I was told by principals, by other authors, everybody that I communicated with, they said, don't quit your day job. And I did.
What was your day job?
I owned a cleaning service for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Right. So we scaled it back 90%, give or take. And so we're not living off the 10 because that's not possible. And so I believe in myself. And we are making deals with the books. We're making deals with other avenues to generate income. And so I went out there. I have something to fall back on because obviously I know how to run a business. So if money is tight, then we'll line up some contracts to make sure money gets right. But you were taught at an early age because when you went to college, you were still young. And so you had both things. So that's good for our listening audience to hear and learn from. So follow your passion, but get your degree.
Yes, absolutely.
Indeed.
My mom was a teacher, so And I'm proud, I guess, that I come from a family, you know, that is very supportive of learning. Everybody, of course, doesn't have a formal degree, but many of the people in my family, many of the older people, and now many of like my younger cousins and stuff, have opted to go to college. I think it was a really good decision. I'm glad that I was able to do it then.
Indeed, right. Get it out the way. Right.
Exactly.
Performing arts, you did the piano. What other instruments do you know how to play?
I just know how to play the piano.
Just the piano?
Yeah, piano.
You said
and
just
sing.
the piano.
Just the piano.
That's very. So you sing, do the piano, the whole 9 yards. I want to jump to something that really caught my attention.
Okay.
The Apollo.
Oh, the Apollo
The
Theater.
Apollo,
Yeah.
yes. You were at the Apollo performing.
I had a gig, one gig at the Apollo. I was part of like an ensemble of background vocalists. It was a hallmark or landmark occasion for the Apollo. I think maybe it just remodeled it or something.
Okay.
And so at that time, Ruby Dee was still alive. So I had an opportunity to at least see her in person. Gerald Levert was still living.
Oh, yes.
In fact,
yes.
Gerald Levert, Vanessa Williams, and B.B. Winans performed like a big group number, and that was
At the same time you were there.
And
Oh, wow.
those are the artists that our ensemble supported, that
Okay.
our background ensemble
Okay.
supported. It was definitely, you know, it was an amazing experience. It was exciting, you know, just from a historical perspective, you know, being in Harlem
Yes, indeed.
on the Apollo stage.
Did you touch the log?
No, I didn't touch the log.
Oh,
You know, and I don't
we
even,
need to go back and touch it.
I don't
Is
even
it-
know if the log was actually out.
Is it called a log? I know it's a piece of wood. It's a tree stump or something.
The log or the stump? Maybe the stump. I think
The
it's
stump.
more like a tree stump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
But
didn't-
no.
It wasn't there, or you just didn't touch it?
I didn't touch it, so I don't really know if it was there. You know, you're usually pretty well contained
Indeed.
when you're working in those kinds of situations with a lot of, you know, celebrities and stuff around.
What year
so.
was this?
Oh, wow.
Before the selfie?
This definitely before the selfie. But I am still just a little bit over 25.
And so am I.
And so is he, and I believe him.
Indeed. Father, in the name of Jesus, we love you. So name some more people that influenced you on this journey.
I think in terms of style, I'm very old school. So all of like the grand dames of jazz, everybody from Ella Fitzgerald to Billie Holiday, Carmen McRae, Sarah Vaughan, as far as like kind of adult contemporary R&B singers, singers like Shaka Khan, Aretha Franklin, pretty much anybody that had a very classic, kind of unadulterated, pure sort of sound. And by that I mean just in contrast to what we hear now with contemporary R&B, which usually has a lot of runs and a lot of ornamentation. I tend to defer to a more direct kind of execution of the line because of those influences. Those are also the artists that I heard as a little kid. My mom is a singer. I don't know if I mentioned that she was a teacher.
Right.
But my mom sings, and my dad was a jazz piano player. So
Oh.
I grew up in an environment that had a lot of different kind of music.
A lot of music.
And I come from a musical family. So on both sides, on my mom's side and my dad's side.
That's a blessing.
Yeah, I think it is.
That's wonderful. Music comes to savage beats. I don't know why I said that, but it does. I'm not saying I'm a beast, but I really
Okay.
love music.
Yeah.
Really, maybe I'm a beast in sales. Let's do that.
Okay,
We'll go with that.
sure.
Right?
We
Amen.
can go with that one.
Amen. So I love good singing. So when we have singers, I really beg them to sing something. You know, so that's, and we see what you, I think you put it in a classy way of, I have soul opposed to what's going on now. Because I see how you put that. Because I don't know what this stuff is. I don't understand some
I
of this.
wouldn't say that. I think there are a lot of soulful
Okay.
contemporary artists,
Today.
both on like the gospel side and the R&B side. I think that many of them are not heard
Right.
because
right.
many
It
of them
doesn't
are
say
not
that.
celebrities.
Right. Indeed.
But there are still people out there the youngins, as I call them, who are interested in delivering lines. I'm not opposed to to runs and stuff like that if you can execute them properly.
There was a church on Facebook, and I won't name the song, but everyone is jumping out their car doing a dance. And so you could kind of figure that out.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Okay.
There's a church who redid the song and was like, Jesus, do you love me? Are you with me? And I was floored. I mean, if it wasn't my...
Did you like it?
I was...
Or just
I'm
kind of...
old school.
Okay.
I'm an old school apostolic ordained elder.
Oh, okay. That explains a lot.
Right. And so when it comes to that, it's like, yeah, we're like the Marine Corps of religion.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So, no, I didn't like it. But I couldn't even listen to the whole thing. But I love, he that winneth souls is wise. And so I love the concept. So I didn't like it because I wouldn't have participated. I wouldn't have left. Probably would have put my headphones on and listened to CNN.
Right.
I would have got Trump then, so I probably wouldn't do that. But at the end of the day, I love the concept. I love how they was trying to do what they was doing. So I love what they was doing, but from a personal perspective, I wouldn't rock that in my car.
Right. It's not your taste.
No, not at all. So when we come back, we're going to have some more conversations. And this next commercial break is sponsored by Finish Line Auto out of Hammond, Indiana. In a minute, people. And we are back with Marcya, wonderful songstress. And we want to know, who were your major influences? We know your dad did his thing on his side, and your mom, and you were surrounded by music. And we're excited that you started the business at 15. But there was someone that just really grabbed you. Now, you talked about a band teacher. Was it a band teacher or instructor that helped you get the
no disrespect to anybody, but actually, no. I think music was just kind of my thing. That was kind of my calling. It was something that I fell naturally into, and I was blessed in that I grew up, like I said, in an environment, where pursuing that kind of passion and creativity was something that was supported. I really can't pinpoint one specific person that inspired me to want to become a professional singer. No one ever pushed me to become a professional singer. I just really liked it. When I first started studying classical music, I was really excited by the fact that I could make sounds that were different.
Right.
Naturally.
Indeed.
And then, as I continued my studies, then you bring the linguistic aspect of things into it, and I had an opportunity to at least learn how to sing in different languages, which the French, German, Italian.
Wait. Let's say that again. You could do French?
I can sing in French, German, and Italian, and a few other languages too.
Ladies and gentlemen.
But that's different from being able to have a conversation.
I understand, but my grandfather's Italian, so obviously I'm going to love it, yes. So
what's your last name?
My last name is Harris. That wasn't his last name. So we're not going to put my bio on the radio. Let's please.
Okay, no bio of Andre today.
Right. But my grandfather's Italian. And so we knew that. I learned of that history my senior year in high school. And me and all my friends were together. And when I got in contact with that side of the family, I had my friends just like, it all makes sense now. I think they was trying to be funny because of my attitude or whatever. But at the end of the day, I always wanted to learn the language. I always wanted to be a part of the culture, so to speak. But at the end of the day, I grew up in Gary. I know Gary. I'm black. I do what I do. So one day I want to fly over there and touch the soil.
It's beautiful. Oh, yeah. You'll love it. The food is great. It's fresh.
I'm a wonderful cook. I'm a wonderful cook.
Do you make Italian food or no?
No, I make just food. But here's the thing. There's no pizza better than Chicago's pizza.
You know what? I agree with you. I lived in New York, and
it sucked.
I had to get used to the standard, typical corner slice, which is very thin.
Yes.
A little on the dry side.
And you call that a piece of pie.
They could not execute deep dish pizzas.
No.
And where I live right now, not at all. Not in Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah. But you're not too far. When I went to New York, I said, listen, I'm from the Midwest, boots on the ground, I want me a really nice piece of pie. He said, you come to the right place, best in Harlem somewhere, the best pizza you ever take. He put that stuff down and I saw that flat piece of paper. What in the world is this? So I wanted to make it a whole. Yeah.
Maybe if they'd said Brooklyn or the Bronx. You don't get pizza in Harlem. There's all other kinds of good food there.
Yeah, well.
You got
I got
pulled the
shot.
okey doke on you.
Yeah, I still got it. Yeah, they got me good. They got me good. They got me good. Listen, real quick. What advice would you give someone who wants to start in your business?
Prepare. We have the internet now.
Don't we?
Any questions that you have about the business aspect of it, learn as much as you can.
Indeed.
Do not quit your day job. Do not think that pursuing music or a career as a singer is something that you can only do if you're not in college. You will not be a happy person if you don't create a steady source of revenue for yourself as an artist, because it takes money to reinvest in yourself.
Indeed.
And gone are these days where you're just going to, bump into somebody that thinks you're really, really talented, and they, and think that they want to invest money in you and that it's going to be just a nice, straightforward situation. There are no nice, straightforward situations in the entertainment industry.
What is your blueprint for success? You partially covered it with that answer. So can you add on?
Being diverse. I think from an early age I had my own idea of what success would look like for me as a singer. So I really never aspired to become a superstar or celebrity. I didn't have aspirations to get radio play or anything like that. I wanted to be a working singer.
Right.
And so I kind of have planned my life in that way, and now I teach full-time. I teach other singers, and I gig as much as I can.
And teaching in your passion, so you're still in your passion.
Absolutely.
Lastly, what does failure mean to you in one short sentence?
Not living up to the goals and expectations that I set for myself.
I totally concur. It's for yourself. Oh, okay.
For myself.
For yourself. That's good. I thought you was going to say it with the other people.
Nope.
For you.
For
I like
me.
that. We have now come to the segment, What Would Jesus Do? And we want you to go to Andre Renee's Creative Cafe and answer this. This is a great one to me, because I grew up this way. What would Jesus say to people when he hear them say, my pastor or my dad? You have a church full of people calling that pastor their dad.
Wow.
Right.
Ultimately, I don't think he would have a problem with that, because I guess, if you're in the church, the minister, the minister or the pastor of a church is, kind of the leader or the father figure of that congregation. So trusting that the pastor is indeed connected to the Word of God, I would suppose, there are many people that feel very comfortable in referring to a pastor as a father. That's not my thing.
Right.
That just because it's just not, but not something I would do, but I don't think Jesus would have a problem with it. If your heart's pure, your intentions are pure, and you're trying to live according to His Word.
Indeed. I believe that Jesus, again, he wouldn't have a problem with it. But I believe Jesus would understand why people are calling them pastors. Because a lot of that's happening in African American communities or lower income communities, and someone is missing in that community. And I believe that's the reason why they say, hey, my pastor's my dad. So that's a wonderful person to call dad. Your dad should be your dad. But when you call your pastor dad, we get that. Dad's not at home, and he's the father figure, he's the shepherd, he's the leader, he's everything. People chime in, go to Andre Renee's Creative Cafe, tell us what would Jesus say to people who are saying, my pastor and dad are the same people. We thank you for listening. Remember, your victory is on the other side of your fears. Go out and conquer your fears, get your victory, and know this, you are your passion. We thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. God bless you.
You're coming back, right?
I will absolutely come back.
And you heard that, America. She's coming back.
I'm coming back.
Amen.
Dexter Walker from Dexter Walker and Zion Movement Choir of Chicago. I am a strong supporter of Andre Renee Creative Cafe radio show. Tune in every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. on 102.3. Me and my choir Zion Movement have a new project out called Hope, and you can download it right now at your digital outlets. Hello, Renee.
Yes, Andre.
I just started a new business.
Awesome. Well, I got some advice for you.
Okay, shoot.
You should call Lamar Advertising for a billboard.
Really?
Yes, billboards will give your company high visibility.
Great. What's that number?
219-980-1147.
Okay, that's 219-980-1147. Lamar Advertising. Do you need to ride fast? Well, I got the place for you. Finish Line Auto, located at 6632 Kennedy Avenue, Hammond, Indiana. For a car, van, or SUV, call now. 219-845-2000. Say hello, Espanol.
I had professional peer cleaning service clean my carpet, and I've never been more satisfied. Previous companies have left my carpet wet for days. Call now and ask for Andre. He will do an excellent and affordable job. 219-746-4329. Call it. Mom, read me a book. Which one, honey? Teach me how to play, or my freckles makes me pretty? No, the last rainbow is don't scare me. Great, let's read that one. At Andre Renee Wrights Publishing, we have children's books your family will love for years. Go to www.arwrights.com to purchase today. Enjoy! Do you love poetry? Spoken word touches a soul. From your streaming sites, type in Spiritually Spoken. Enjoy.